Mitzvah, mitzvah through ASMR. Good evening. Thank you for coming in. I see that there's a lot of fog surrounding you, and it may be a bit difficult to see right now. So I'm going to help remove the fog so that everything can look clear again. I want you to remain calm. And so before I try to remove the fog from you, I want you to take a deep breath in and breathe out. Take another deep breath in and breathe out. It can sometimes be overwhelming and we end up in a fog, and sometimes that fog is comforting and other times it is overwhelming. But either way, eventually we do need to come out of the fog and have everything in focus again. I think sometimes it's nice to be in the fog because once everything comes in focus, it seems a lot more clear. So I find it can be therapeutic. So there's no problem that you're in the fog. It's just time to take it out. And so I'm going to try to remove a layer of fog. Remove a layer. And it may still be hard to see. I'll try to move another layer. You might be able to see me a little better now. We're almost there. I see a few more layers. Okay, we're almost there. There's just a little bit more fog left. Okay, and now there's just one layer, and I want to show you how nice it is because as you pull the layer forward and back, it can be shimmery and nice. And so let's take another deep breath in and breathe out, blowing the fog away. Hello, I see you found your way back to the clinic while you were in a fog. And so now that you're here and the fog has been removed, it's time to reset. And I can see, looking at you, I can see some stress in your face. Some of the colors are off. And so what I think we should do is a color scan. Have you done that before? Yes, I thought so. Okay. So you know the drill a little bit, but I'll still explain as I go because these color scans can be a bit complicated. So before we move on and do the color scan, I want to clear the air. So I have these matches, and I'm just going to light a match on each side of you, and that will just help with clearing the air and setting everything. Okay, so I'm gonna go over to this side first. And you can just watch the flame. Just watch the flame gonna do the other side. And I'm just gonna reach around this way. And now just watch the flame again. Okay, great. Okay, so let me take a look at the colors that we have for scanning so that I can analyze what color would be best for you. Okay. Definitely green. And then, now is it okay if I just touch your face gently while I'm figuring out the colors for you? Okay, thank you. Okay, so then it's too dark. Okay, let's see. Too dark. Okay, so I'm gonna start with red for scanning you. When we're scanning, sometimes we're looking at what colors you're either lacking and need more of, or if you have too much of one color, we can add a color and try to compensate and correct. So if, for example, if you have too much yellow, then sometimes adding a purple, which is on the opposite end of the color spectrum, that can maybe sometimes even out the yellow. It all kind of depends. And then sometimes there's complementary colors as well. In this case, I think you're lacking a little bit of red and green. So instead of counteracting, we're just adding a color. So this is additive color theory and therapy. And so here comes the scan. Okay, great. And I want you to just hold still. Just remain calm. You may not feel anything, and that's totally normal. It's okay to not feel anything during the color scan. It can happen gradually, but by the end you'll feel balanced. And so I want you to do me a favor, and I want you to look to your left, turn your whole head. I'm just going to look while you do that. Keep your head there. Great, and now I want you to look right with your whole head. Hold it. Great, now look back at me. Close your eyes. And now open them. Blink, blink, blink. And now keeping your head still with just your eyes, can you look to your left? Great. Now look back at me. And now look to your right, just the eyes. Look back at me. Blink, blink, blink. Okay. Okay, so I think that's enough red. Of course, we'll reanalyze afterwards. Now, I mentioned you're lacking a little bit of green as well, so we are going to do green. Here comes the green. Okay, and I'm just going to have you hold still for a moment. Just breathe normal, remain calm. And now again, turn your head this way, and I'm going to look at you while you do that. Okay, and now turn your head this way, and I'm going to look at you while you do that. I'm just making sure that the color is setting in everywhere, especially in certain areas where it's really lacking. Okay, you can look back at me. And now again, close your eyes, open them, blink. Now keep your head still, and this time you're going to look up with your eyes. Okay, bring them back down. Look down with your eyes. Bring your eyes back to me. Blink, blink, blink. Can you turn your head this way again? Okay, good. We're just going to hold it there for a moment. Just hold it. Keep your head in that direction. Okay, you can turn back to me now, and that will be it for the color. Okay, and now finally, we're going to be adding some pink in as well. So the reds and pinks can be similar, but pink is a little bit different, and I do think you would benefit from just a little bit of pink. It seems like maybe that's lacking a little bit as well. Sometimes these other less common colors, it can just be beneficial to get a boost of them. So let's do the pink next. And here comes the pink. Oh wow, it's a nice color on you. It looks nice. So we'll hold this here. We'll keep it steady. Now, I want you to turn your head this way and keep it there while I look. Okay, now turn your head this way and hold it there while I look. And now I want you to look down with your whole head. Just bend it down and keep it there. Okay, and now look up with your whole head, just like that. Hold it just a little longer. I think we need a little more pink in this area. Okay, you can bring your head back down. Now close your eyes. Open your eyes. Keep your head still and look to your left. Keep your head still and look to your right. Just your eyes. Now look back at me. Blink, blink, blink. Okay, we're going to remove this color, and I want to remove it while we're breathing, so I'll remove it while you breathe out. So let's take a deep breath in and breathe out. Okay, there we go. How do you feel so far? I know it's like I said, you don't notice the changes, but then when it's all done, you do feel different. Yeah. Okay, and so doing my analysis, some of the reasons we use those colors, the red and the pink, they can represent different things, but in this case, they represent warmth and attention. I think you were lacking a little bit of warmth and attention lately. It seems like you were needing that, and so by adding those colors back in, you get some of those feelings back in. And then with the green, it can mean serenity and calmness, and it seemed like you were a little bit stressed out, a little bit agitated. I know lately a lot of people are stressed out and agitated. I know I sometimes get that way. Sometimes I need a lot of green when I do a color scan. And so that green should just help keep you a little more grounded, feeling a little more able to breathe and calm. So I hope that's helpful for you. You do look more relieved and you seem more relaxed. And now there's just one final thing I would like to do with you. This isn't part of the color scan, but I just think this would be beneficial for you. And so I have a few glass jars that have water with different colors in them, and we're going to be doing a whispering exercise. This is meant to help us with acknowledging our feelings. Sometimes it's not just enough to come and get a color scan and reset yourself. It's really important to acknowledge feelings and be aware of them. So I'm going to get those jars for you, and we'll do that last practice together, and I'll guide you through it. Okay, and so I have my jars here. We're going to start with green. And so I'm going to open this jar, and I'm going to hold it up to you, and you're just going to whisper into the jar. You're just going to whisper a feeling that you've had recently. And for this color, for this first jar, I'd like you to think about a sad feeling that you've had recently, and you're just going to whisper that feeling and that experience into the jar. You're just going to whisper it into the jar. Whisper it into the jar, and then we'll close it. Okay, and so go ahead and whisper your feelings. Whisper the sad feelings into the jar. Whisper, whisper, whisper. Okay, and we're going to close that. And now the feeling is in this jar. You've put a name to it. You can visually see it. And by doing so, you're acknowledging that feeling, and you're not just keeping it bottled up. Okay, let's move on to the next color. Okay, for red, I want you to describe a disappointment, a feeling of anger or disappointment, something that's let you down recently. You're gonna whisper it into the jar. Whisper, whisper, whisper. I'm going to open the jar, and you're going to whisper, whisper, whisper. Whisper, whisper, whisper. And then we'll close it. And so now I'm going to open the jar for you. And now whisper the feelings of disappointment, anger, let down. Whisper those feelings and those experiences into the jar. Whisper, whisper. Whisper. Okay, we're gonna close that. And here they are. You can see them in here. You can hear them. Listen to those complaints, those disappointments. They have an interesting sound. It's almost like they're crying. And there they are, the feelings. You've acknowledged the disappointments, the frustration, the feelings of anger, there they are. No more bottling those up for now. And now finally we have orange, which I feel it's cheerful right now, a nice color. And so I want you to share a positive feeling, something that's made you feel good, something you've been excited about, pleasantly surprised perhaps, and describe that feeling. I'll open the jar and then you'll whisper, 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 whisper into the jar. And so I'm going to open the jar, and now I want you to whisper into the jar. Whisper the positive feelings. Whisper the positive feelings, the things you've been excited about, pleasantly surprised, whatever they may be, those good experiences. Whisper them into the jar. Okay, and we're gonna close that up. And now here are those good feelings, those positive memories. We don't want to forget those. When things feel rough and we're feeling down, we don't want to forget the positive feelings. So here they are in a jar for you to remember. You've acknowledged them, they're here. And as I always say, when doing this exercise, we're not bottling up the feelings so that we're getting rid of them. We're putting them somewhere so that we can acknowledge them, we can see them. We're still feeling them, but by placing them somewhere, giving them a name, a color, an object, we're acknowledging them. Sometimes when we just feel them, we actually try to bottle them up and shove them down and ignore them and avoid them. So by ironically putting them in this jar, you are acknowledging them. You're not just bottling it away to put on a shelf somewhere. You're acknowledging those feelings, and you're sitting with them, and you're letting them be. Because all those feelings that you feel, they're not moral or immoral, they're not good or bad. They're just part of being a human and experiencing life. And so here they are. And so I'd like to end this session by doing 2 more matches, one on each side. I like to just mimic how I'll do this. Okay, so let's do one on this side first. And you can just watch the flame as it goes out. Watch the flame. And now we'll do the other side. Over here. And here we go again. Just watch the flame. And now let's end this session with 2 more breaths. Let's take a deep breath in and breathe out. Let's do one more deep breath in and breathe out. Great. Remember where you started with all of the fog, and now everything's clear again. You've been reset with the colors, and you've acknowledged your feelings, and I think you're a bit reset now and ready to take on the day, the week, the month, whatever time frame it may be for you. Thank you so much for coming in. I'm glad I was able to help, and you're always welcome back anytime. Take care. Hello. Thank you for watching my video. If you enjoyed this video, please comment and like. Let me know what you think. And please subscribe to my channel. I put out videos almost every week. And as always, Toda Rabah, Laila Tov. Thank you very much and have a good night.